Gentlemen, the situation is dire. We must mobilize immediately. Understood, sir. Orders? Follow your works.
The halls of the Galactic Council chamber shimmered with artificial light, reflecting off the polished obsidian floors. Representatives from over 200 star systems milled about, their varied physiologies a testament to the diversity of the galaxy. Tentacles, wings, bioluminescent skin, every conceivable form of life was represented here, yet the mood was grim. Whispers rippled through the council chambers, punctuated by the heavy hum of anti-gravity platforms carrying delegates to their assigned positions. At the center of the council, Grand Chancellor Lawrence, a towering figure with crystalline armor and 3 rotating ocular arrays, topped his staff on the floor, calling for silence. The Terran Empire has continued its expansion unchecked, Lawrence's voice boomed, resonating through the chamber. Their fleets violate every interstellar accord. Our patience wears thin. The Council demands an immediate cessation of hostilities or face unified sanctions. A ripple of agreement surged through the chamber, but in a quiet corner, the Terran ambassador, General Aaron Kor, observed the proceedings with an almost imperceptible smirk. Aaron was human, tall with cropped black hair and eyes that seemed to bore into anyone who underestimated her, but it wasn't her appearance that made her formidable. It was the reputation she carried. The strategist who had turned the Terran Empire from a fledgling faction into the galaxy's most feared power in under a decade. Sanctions, she muttered under her breath. Let them try. 2 light-years array aboard the Terran Command flagship Dominion, the hum of the engines vibrated through the steel floors. Rows of officers monitored holographic projections of the council chambers, their faces tense but focused. Admiral Vance, second in command, approached Aaron. The council expects submission, he said cautiously. Aaron shook her head. They won't get it. Submission is for the weak. We strike and we strike decisively. The galaxy will remember why Terrans are not to be trifled with. Her plan was audacious. Using the Terran Empire's unmatched cloaking technology, the fleet would appear suddenly at strategic positions around key council-controlled systems. The objective wasn't annihilation, it was leverage, a display of power so precise, so undeniable, that the council would have no choice but to reconsider its stance. By the following standard cycle, Terran warships emerged from hyperspace around the council's capital world. Like predators in orbit, the ships hovered silently, cloaking arrays shimmering faintly like ghostly auroras against the void. Panic erupted across the Council's communication networks as their planetary defense systems suddenly detected dozens of Terran vessels, ships previously thought impossible to reach them undetected. Chancellor Lawrence's ocular arrays flared. "Explain this intrusion," he demanded, his voice cracking with a mixture of fury and disbelief. Delegates scrambled to issue countermeasures, but Aaron's strategy had accounted for everything: coordinated jamming pulses, decoy signals, and instantaneous fleet maneuvering. Every attempt to engage the Terran fleet was met with overwhelming precision. "We are here," Aaron broadcast directly into the Council's network, her tone cold and unwavering. "Not as conquerors, but as a reminder. Your threats, your ultimatums, they mean nothing to the Terran Empire. We honor strength, strategy, and the right to protect our interests. Reconsider your stance or face consequences you cannot imagine." The chamber fell silent. Hundreds of delegates looked to one another in stunned disbelief. Some paled, others flickered their defensive shields nervously. Lawrence's ocular arrays hummed with restrained energy, his staff trembling slightly as he processed the audacity of the message. What are the Terrans planning?" muttered a delegate from the Zephyra Prime sector. "They've mastered war the way we master diplomacy," whispered another, "and right now they're showing us the difference." Meanwhile, in orbit, Aaron maneuvered her flagship into a vantage point that allowed the Council to see the full extent of her fleet. Battleships, carriers, and cloaked frigates formed a silent armada, each ship a testament to human ingenuity and tactical brilliance. The Terrans did not fire. There was no destruction, only presence, and in that presence was a message clearer than any weapon. Defiance was no longer theoretical, it was tangible. the Council convened an emergency session. Virtual displays flickered with Terran projections, showing simulated consequences of continued aggression. Worlds falling to embargoes, fleets neutralized without a single shot fired, strategic systems blocked from travel. Every scenario underlined the same fact: the Terran Empire was not to be coerced. Hours passed. Delegates argued, debated, and pleaded. Lawrence, normally composed and commanding, finally lowered his staff. His ocular arrays dimmed in resignation. The Terran Empire has demonstrated its capabilities beyond our predictions, he admitted, voice tight. The Council acknowledges the need for a new approach. We will open negotiations on terms favorable to all parties, starting with recognition of Terran sovereignty and cessation of unjust sanctions. Erin allowed herself a small smile. She had expected resistance, posturing, even threats, but not outright capitulation. It was a victory not of brute force, but of strategy, timing, and the audacity to strike when least expected. As the Terran fleet silently withdrew to the edge of Council-controlled space, the galaxy took notice. News feeds across inhabited systems carried the broadcast. Terran Empire strikes back. Galactic Council stunned. Merchants, civilians, and military factions alike speculated about the Terrans' next move. Rumors of alliances, new technologies, and daring raids spread like wildfire, cementing the human faction's reputation as a force that could not be ignored. Erin stood on the bridge of the Dominion, gazing at the distant light of the Council's capital world. "Let them negotiate," she said softly. "Let them understand that power is not given, it's earned. And the Terran Empire, it has earned its place in this galaxy." Below her, the fleet hummed quietly, ready for whatever came next. The humans had made their statement. The Council had learned its lesson. And in the void between stars, one truth had been made undeniable. The Terran Empire was a force not just to be seen, but to be respected. For some, it was a warning. For others, a promise. For the Terrans, it was simply the beginning.